I have no idea where I am. All I know is I ran until I couldn't hear the door slamming anymore. Until I couldn't breathe anymore. Until the stupid ceiling was so low and the walls were so tight that I couldn't go anymore. I ran and ran and ran away from the slamming door until I got here. To another door. The dungeon didn't seem to really be a dungeon at all. Not yet, anyway. What's behind this door, I don't know. But so far, it's just been a long, shitty hallway. I was 10, but I knew how to curse. Thanks to my cousin Shannon. The one in Minnesota that I stay with when I go on ghost hunts out there. You see, every year my mom's side of the family has a reunion in this huge manor. It's a massive, massive old mansion with a bowling alley in the attic. I'll tell you stories about it someday soon if you want. Totally haunted. When I was little, Shannon, who's a few years older than I am, took me up to the attic and taught me how to curse. She would write on the scoreboard, which was just a chalkboard with printed lines on it. And she would say, "This word is shit. You can use it when you break something valuable, like a lamp or a glass figure. And this word is damn. You can use it when something goes wrong. You miss the bus or you get your report card. But my favorite word is this one. Crap. You use it when you drop something or you stub your toe. It just sounds nice. Crap." Shannon taught me a lot about life, and she still does. But I didn't have any more time to think about that. I had a decision to make. Open this door, or head back up the impossibly long hallway to the other door. The scary door. Damn. This was a perfect time to say it, so I said it out loud, under my breath so as not to get in trouble with whomever might be listening. Damn. If I thought about it for a second here, if there was a cold wind from down here, and the door at the other end was opening and shutting, that must mean that there is a way out back here. I remembered this from one of the adventure books my dad used to read me, like Treasure Island or Kidnapped or 7 Years Beyond the Mast. I think that's what it's called. But if you get lost in a cave, deep underground, you always go towards where you feel the breeze coming from, because that means it's an opening out into the world, which is exactly what I did, and so it led me to this door. So by all methods of practicality, I had to go through this door. And so I reached out my little hand onto the engraved brass doorknob in front of me, slowly turning it to the left, and pushed. A cold flush of stale air smacked me in the face as dust from the door fell, and I coughed it away, wiping at my eyes. It was dark in here, darker than the hallway, and almost none of the lights spilled in, except for a small pool on the floor. The dust in my eyes didn't help either. But before completely entering the room, I thought to search for a light switch on the walls. Maybe this room would be different since it seemed to be more of a room and not a long, awful hallway. I lifted my hand to the right at the door and touched the inside black wall. Ah! Weird. There's this bizarre texture to the wall, like it's carved out or falling apart, I guess. I was just caught off guard. Nothing scary about some holes in a wall. So I reached back, running my hand ever so slowly down the wall, exploring its textures. It's like it's made out of round pieces. Maybe some kind of strange carved tile. It was all kinds of holes in it. 2 big holes, and a triangle hole, and then tick, 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 bunch of little bumps, and then repeat. Big round curve, 2 big holes, triangle hole, tick, 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 bunch of little bumps. repeat. This is weird. But this place is so obviously very, very old, so maybe it's some sort of inefficient design old people used for storage. Or maybe it's just decorative. It's too weird to imagine. I need to find light. And a wall like this isn't gonna have a switch. It's gotta be another pull string. Visibility close to none. I step forward onto the dwindling light from the hall, reaching my hand into the air, looking for a light string. The last light of the hallway is several feet back from the door, and it's not offering much for my eyes to work with. I keep moving forward, hands searching the air. I begin to feel the size of the room around me. The walls and the ceiling don't feel close anymore. In fact, they don't feel like they're there at all. I mean, they must be, because I touched one of them, but now they feel miles away. Another cold wind, and I hear the door slowly creak shut behind me. Click. Closed. Damn. Well, I'm not turning back. I've proven to myself that approaching doors that close on their own is not a great plan. Never ends pleasantly. So I keep my cool, and I shuffle on in perfect darkness. Seems like hours that I'm stumbling forward in the dark. But in reality, it's mere seconds before my hand touches something uncomfortable, spiky. It kind of hurts my hand, but not hurt, just like surprised. Not spiky, just not soft. Everything's confusing in the dark, so I tell myself not to freak out and just give it another touch. So I do. And to my relief, I find a swinging knot of twine dangling from the ceiling, and I pull. Light. Awesome. Awesome, awesome light. And what's before me? Stairs. Lots and lots of stairs with a big metal door at the top, like a cellar door you might see in The Wizard of Oz or any other movie that has a tornado in it. But it's not just a door to me. It's salvation. Part of me wants to run to it. I'll be so thankful to be above ground again, not in this smelly, dark tunnel, but a big part of me needs to turn around and see the massive room I just passed through. I'll spend the rest of my life thinking about this place. And I want to know what that weird rounded tile looks like with the big round curve and the two large holes, the triangle hole and the tick, 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 tick bunch of little bumps repeat. So I do. I turn around and my jaw drops and I'm speechless, breathless, as if the air had been knocked out of me. A sucker punch to the stomach. My little 10-year-old butt slams down onto the bottom step and I sit staring into the dimly lit room with the walls, with the big round bump, the two big holes, the triangle hole and the tick, 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 tick bunch of little bumps repeat. The catacombs. Something I knew nothing about, never even heard of. A cellar with walls lined with human skulls. Shocking, awful, terrifying, and strangely beautiful. But I didn't spend much time soaking it in. As soon as my body would let me, as soon as I replenished my air, I turned and climbed with amazing speed up the long, long stairway to Earth. I had enough. Nothing was going to keep me down here. Nothing. I was saving myself tonight. Up, up, up the stairs to the big, heavy doors. I don't know if it was just my imagination running wild or the mental suggestion of all of those skulls staring at me with their two big empty holes where their eyes should be, and smiling at me with their tick, 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 tick little bumps. But I felt the cold wind at my back, as if to suggest the way out. It was back into the dungeon. Like something wanted me to turn and to see it. But I was having none of that. Climb, climb, climb. And I reach the doors. And with all my little boy strength, I throw them open. Yes! Freedom! The night sky never looked so beautiful as when I slammed the doors shut and fell onto my back in the middle of the grass by the big red barn. But I only stayed there for a second to catch my breath before I realized I wanted to be as far away from that middle door as humanly possible. Turns out the big red barn was on the other side of the graveyard, which I gleefully ran through down the huge hill and back to the church, which of course was locked. I had to pound on the window of my dad's meeting to get let back in, and I got a lecture that evening about going outside at night and playing in the graveyard. But I took it as a happy alternative to explaining my adventure in the dungeon. And I never spoke of it again. Except to my friends in Sunday school.
I'll turn on the light on this door.
Okay.
Because that is one of the ways that the spirit sisters communicate with us. And they are two old-fashioned girls who lived here in the late 1800s and early 1900s.
And that's the door that you wrote about in your book that you
Right.
found in the basement.